is. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been about 6 months or so. Yeah, 6 months, 8 months.
It's been a
Yes,
while.
eh, the time for the 2025-26 NFL season. It is upon us. Preseason has been going for a little bit. Uh, I don't worry too much about preseason because it could all be a load of nonsense. Not
It
six
could be.
pieces moving around. But as Joe so generously reminded me that week one is upon us here shortly.
Yes. Yes. Thursday. Next Thursday. A
So
week away.
we're gonna do a little preview, a little bit of our predictions like we always did. Uh, so, do you have any expectations for the NFL season? Not just
Um,
for our Giants, but in general.
First, I want to talk about the sponsors that's providing our show today. Is brought to you by Boats and Hose. Um, Prestige Worldwide. Thank you for everything.
And of
Um,
course, the always generous and always kind to us, the Arlen Mall.
yes.
Please
Yes.
go visit the Arlen Mall. They have been struggling as of late, but with paying the hell back, hopefully that change.
I There's a lot for this overall season. Like I know, I will focus. I will talk a little bit about the Giants since we're Giants fans, but not right now. You asked the question. Overall, I think there's a lot to be excited for this season as a whole. I'll start with are the Eagles going to repeat? I mean, I'm not again not the Eagles fan, but that team seemed like to be the juggernaut once they figured things out. And they were just torching teams. And when they beat Kansas City, they didn't. They just it was belt to ass all night. They didn't let up. So I'm curious as to see if that's going to be the same. If they're going to be able to continue that. Next thing is Jaden Daniels' sophomore season. Is he going to be just as exciting, or is it going to be a sophomore slump? You know, I don't foresee a sophomore slump with him, but we've all seen it happen before with other second-year quarterbacks where they have an exciting rookie season and then they don't perform the second year. AFC, um, just excited. Speculation on some certain uniforms certain teams are going to wear. That's going to be exciting. Hopefully the Chiefs don't make it to the playoffs. That'll be nice.
Well, I mean, speaking of Chiefs, at least somebody from the team got their win,
Right.
but he had to give it away.
But I think just overall, I think exciting to see all the free agents that were signed, how they're going to perform on new teams. I think one of the more exciting. Or here's another thing: are we going to see Micah Parsons put pen to paper and sign a deal, or is he going to hold out? That's going to be a storyline to follow.
Any
New head coach. Uh, how he's gonna. How is he gonna improve Caleb? Um, God dang it, I forgot his name. Caleb Williams, the quarterback. He looked good in preseason, but like you said, the preseason, you can take it with a grain of salt. Because it is preseason. Some teams didn't even play starters, while other teams did. So it's kind of hard to really get a good read on, hey, if the starter's going to be this good against other starters.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's like you want to make sure everybody gets their reps. Everybody's understanding the playbook. Everybody's on the same page. And it is preseason. You want your guys warmed up, but you also don't want your starters hurt week 2 of preseason.
Which was rare. As you saw, like Eric, we were talking about the Giants. The Giants played their starters minus like Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, pretty much all preseason. I was fortunate enough to go to a preseason game, Giants versus Bills. I went to Buffalo, watched the Giants beat the Bills. I can say when I watched Russell Wilson play, he was good, but I'm really excited for Jackson Dart and how he's coming up. He looked really well. He looked really good in the pocket, went through his progressions. So, there's a lot of upside. I mean, with him, I feel for the Giants.
Yeah, one of my customers that comes into the stores, Benito, Benny, he's a Giants fan, which was weird to run into another Giants fan out here, especially in this part of California. But he was saying that he's concerned with Russell Wilson. He doesn't know if he necessarily likes Russell. All I could think of is as I thought about it, I was like, he would be good for the rookie to learn from. Been around for a while, been to the Super Bowl, he has track record. Even if Russell Wilson isn't out for long term, 2 seasons, maybe he starts phasing the new guy in. Good for him to learn from.
Well,
I'm a big fan of that.
That was the plan with when they signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, was to be a veteran presence for Jackson Dart's development. No, I don't know if Giants are going to extend Russell Wilson. They only signed him to a 1-year deal. Jameis is a 2-year deal. I think Russell gives the best chance for the Giants to win, just based on he's a proven winner, Super Bowl champion, many successful seasons out in Seattle. He played pretty well for Pittsburgh. But I think a lot of people look at when he played for the Broncos as like, oh, he's washed. I think Russell still has some left in the tank to get the job done. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the savior, but I wouldn't be too surprised if the Giants are a lot better than what they were last year, which won't be too hard to do.
Yeah. I said before, I believe I said it with you, I know I said it with other people. The bar has been set so low for these last 10 to 12 years that as a Giants fan, I'm not expecting Super Bowl of us. You get us 8-8, 7-9. I'm like, okay, that's an improvement.
We got something here. And you got to take out the 2022 season where the Giants made the playoffs. I think that was just, it was good. But it, I think it was the Giants. Yes, they went to the playoffs. They won a playoff game. But we knew they weren't going to get past that wild card round. They made it in the playoffs. They were playing well. I think they did what they had to do to win, but I think it was more of a fluke, honestly. Not trying to say nothing about first year, that was the first year of Brian Daboll as head coach. But Daniel Jones immediately fell off. It was
no way. Not Daniel Jones.
Yeah. So it was. So like you said, for the past decade, it's been tough being a Giants fan. It seems to go around the NFL. Like each team has got their curse, or their slump. It's always been like the Browns for the longest time. It was the Bills in the early 2000s. It was
The Cowboys for the last 30 years.
the Jets have been there numerous times, or one long time. Either way you look at it. And so when they went out, they went out and signed these veteran quarterbacks. They traded back up to draft a quarterback. They're giving Dable the quarterback for him to build. Because, mind you, Dable is the one who really formed Josh Allen in Buffalo. And then Dable left to become a head coach. So you give him a first-year quarterback, I think it's a lot easier to mentor, and coach that than it is you have a quarterback that has that was his fourth offensive system he was trying to learn within his first 5 years in the league, and it wasn't gonna happen. And you could tell that just the body language between Dable and Jones, they weren't clicking. They may have said all the right things in the press conference, but if you read he looked disappointed in January, and Dable.
I think I lost you.
And that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that.
But yeah, it's like every team has their slump. The Giants. It seems like they hit a slump and they started making some questionable decisions. But yeah, that could be again every game. Like when shit starts going bad, you start grasping for straws, so to speak, and you might not make the best of decisions.
I guess overall the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is just sitting down and watching a game. I mean, preseason's good and fun, but watching the starters play the entire game, and really getting to know how each team is going to do. Because you give it a couple weeks, and then you can kind of grasp on who's going to do how the team is going to do. Just like last year when the Ravens were 0-2 in the beginning of the season, I think a lot of people were quick to panic, and I'm like, don't panic.
You never panicked within the first 3 weeks.
No, now it's hard. Now it's hard to get to the playoffs if you start the season 0-2. That it's not in your favor to go to the playoffs. It is not. We know that. And the Ravens made it to the divisional round. So
yeah, they figured it out. They got their shit together, and they made their run.
So this year I think I'm excited to see what the Ravens are going to do. That's another team. Second year having Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson's a very exciting player to watch. And they open up against Buffalo in Buffalo on Sunday Night Football.
Okay, so speaking of that, you want to get into actual week 1 here?
Sure. Oh, certainly.
So Thursday, September 4th, Cowboys, Eagles.
It's gonna go Eagles. The Cowboys, I think the drama between Micah Parsons in the front office is going to affect the team. If he's not on the field, he's that difference maker on that defense. There's no one that can step up and take his place, let alone his presence on the field. It's going to be Eagles, and I'm going to go with 35-17. The Eagles are going to annihilate them.
Just like the night. 35-17. But
Oh, you're writing that down?
have you watched the Cowboys documentary? I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I think you got it confused with the movie Brokeback Mountain.
Hey, it's not my fault. That's where your brain went to first.
Yeah, I seen the new commercial where they're bouncing on my booty cheeks. I love the way he rides. No, but I have not watched the Cowboys. I've been watching the Hard Knocks with Buffalo Bills on HBO.
It's a pretty good documentary. I'll give them that. As somebody who's not a Cowboys fan, obviously.
We hate
But
the Cowboys.
as a sports fan, I'm like, okay, this is good. This is a good documentary. And I will said before, and I will say again, Jerry Jones is the George Steinbrenner of football.
He's been around since dirt.
Okay. Friday, September 5th, the Chiefs versus the Wales Vagina Chargers. Or the team formerly known as
They're LA Chargers now.
the team that's formerly known as the Wales Vagina Chargers.
I'm gonna go with Chargers. I want to go with the upset right there, rivalry game. The Chiefs are going to be favored, but I think San Diego is going to beat them. I think it'll be a close game for sure. Rashid Rice on the Chiefs is going to be suspended for the first 6 games, so he's not going to be playing. Kelsey's not playing at an elite level. He's been slowly fading. And plus, I just want to see Patrick Mahomes cry. So,
Hey, you leave Kermit the Frog alone.
no.
Yeah, I'm still picking Kansas City, just to be safe, being week 1. But depending on how they roll out, those pick that pick could be like, yeah, I'm not convinced right now that they're definitely not the elite Kansas City Chiefs they once were. So
No, they're not.
thanks. All right. Moving into Sunday, the 7th.
Sunday.
Sunday. First game on Sunday, the Giants versus the Commanders. Washington, team formerly known as the Redskins.
Giants.
I concur. Just
The Giants really invested heavily in the defensive line. I think they're going to be able to put on a lot of pressure with their front 4 and to keep coverage back. So I'm going with Giants.
Yeah, I got to start the new season off right, supporting my team. I was happy to see how good Washington did last year. I was very happy to see them do what they were doing.
The fans and the team needed that. They needed, because they've been in the gutter just as much as the Giants have. And they needed some reprieve, and they found it in Jaden Daniels. So, I'm happy for the Commanders for their successful season, making it to the conference championship game. But they're going to lose against the Giants.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a flash in the pan or if it's going to be something sustainable for them.
Well, I hope, for our sake, I hope it was a flash in the pan, but for their sake, I hope it's more of they got their quarterback, they got their team, and then now they just got to, kind of just tighten it down a little bit.
All right. Second game. We got the Dolphins versus the Colts.
I gotta go with Dolphins because the Colts announced Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback.
Yeah, they're already mathematically eliminated from next year's playoffs as well. How much you want to bet though? It just popped into my head.
Like, oh man.
Daniel Jones goes to Indianapolis and all of a sudden becomes this fucking stud. I would be fucking furious.
I'd be like confused as hell. I go, where the hell is that? Where was this?
For real. Like out of nowhere, you just all of a sudden become the second coming of friggin' Eli Manning.
You know, like, you know, but if he does, all right, cool, I guess.
It's like good
But
for you.
you know, Miami. Yeah, I mean, Miami. I think Miami's going to win that game.
Oh yeah.
So I don't say it's going to be a blowout, but Miami's the more solid team. Got they got their starting quarterback. He's a proven winner. Daniel Jones. Yeah, he's won, but I don't think he's the starter in this league. And as New York, we know we had him a starter for 5 flipping seasons.
And any Giants win was in spite of him, not because of him.
Yeah.
You know. Raiders versus the Patriots.
I want to go Raiders.
Same.
I like their rookie running back they drafted, and I think they're just going to pound the rock.
You'll really smell what the Rock is cooking after that.
Yeah, you know, for the people that don't follow football, number one, okay, while you're watching this, and number two, pounding the rock means running the football.
But you're more than welcome to stay and watch the whole thing and go back and watch other shit that we did.
Yeah.
Steelers versus the Jets. The goddamn Jets.
I don't know. Ty, I don't know. My heart says I want to say the Steelers, but it's so like, how do you got this line? Like the NFL season, like they really did this, right? I mean, Rodgers went to the Steelers. He was for the Jets last year. Fields was on the Steelers last year. He went to the Jets this year, and now they're facing each other in week 1. They're facing their old teams.
I'm picking Pittsburgh purely out of fucking principle.
I mean, the Jets are the younger team, but geez, I don't. It's
still the Jets.
yeah, and that's what makes it troubling. I'm gonna go with Steelers.
Even when the Jets were good, like in the early 2000s, the entire time it was like holding your breath, waiting for it to happen. Because you know what's going to happen. Then when it happens, I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's nothing like a team, you know, that nothing like following your football team that's going to give you angina.
Goddamn Jets.
Oh.
All right, moving on. We have Panthers and Jaguars. The exciting game of the week.
See, you got 2 cats going at it, right? Can we just throw in a ball of yarn? I'll go with, I don't know. I'm going to go with Carolina.
And I'm going to go with Jacksonville just to see what happens.
Oh no, that was for the 2 shitty teams. That's kind of hard. Like,
Next, we got the Bengals and the Browns.
Bengals. I don't know if the Browns can sustain offensively. The Bengals are offense heavy right now, and they did sign their star pass rusher to a 1-year extension to kind of hang on to him. But that's their defense is questionable. But if they can get up 35 points, it's keeping up with them. That's the challenge.
Then we have Tampa Bay versus Atlanta.
I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tampa Bay too, because let's not forget that the Falcons blew a 35-point lead in Super Bowl.
They blew a 28-point lead.
Is it 28?
Yeah, it's 20 or 25. Sorry, 25. They were up 28-3 and then blew it. And they got completely shut out.
Next, we got the 49ers versus Seattle.
I have to go with the 49ers.
Same. They did too well last year for me to just second guess them. Tennessee versus the Broncos.
Broncos.
Broncos check. I will go Tennessee just to be different because we've been picking virtually the same.
Well, hey, I get it.
And that way I can write picks on the paper.
It is.
Next, we got Detroit versus Green Bay.
I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go Green Bay.
I'm going Green Bay.
I'm going Green Bay. The only reason is I don't know if Dan Campbell hung on to the same offensive system because he had to bring in a new offensive coordinator. So, for the Lions' sake, I hope they kept the same same kind of play style. So he's successful again. But I'm going to go with the upset of Green Bay because Green Bay, they did split the series last year. So,
yeah, I'm going with Detroit, hoping that they continue what they were doing last year. Like you said, keep the same playbook and everything like that.
right. No, I get it.
If you don't change the damn thing, just keep doing what you're doing and make everybody else figure you out.
Yep.
And so I'm hoping that's what happens. Okay, Houston versus the Rams. Whichever city the Rams want to play in this year.
Houston. Another playoff team. They were playing,
I'll pick the Rams just because I want the Rams to do good. I have no other thing to back it up with. Yeah. And the primetime game on Sunday.
Bills.
Ravens, Bills.
I'm going Bills.
Why? Anything you got to say about that show?
Josh Allen.
And Monday, September 8th, my birthday, Vikings, Bears.
Ew.
Yeah.
I thought we were done with these games after we passed Jacksonville, Carolina.
Nope.
Nope. I'll go Vikings.
You going Vikings?
I'm going Vikings.
And you know what? Again, to be different, I'm going to pick the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Bears. The Bulls, the Bears.
Sure. So that's week 1. Do you want to be bold enough to make any long-term predictions?
The way, way, way too early Super Bowl prediction.
Mm-hmm. So that way we can look back to see how close we were.
Last year, we're almost fucking spot on. Hey, the teams I picked made it to. Well, one got knocked down in the divisional. The other one got knocked down the conference. I was damn close.
Everybody that we expected to be there was there.
Right. I picked last year, if I remember correctly, I picked the Lions and Ravens for the Super Bowl. And the Lions made it to the conference championship, and the Ravens got knocked out in divisional. AFC, I'm going to go Bills. I think the Bills finally get past that plateau and get to the big game. NFC, I do not think the Eagles repeat. And I think,
I don't either.
And I think this is going to be finally Dan Campbell's time where the Lions make it to the Super Bowl. So my way, 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 way too early prediction is Lions versus Bills.
I was thinking something very similar. I was thinking either Bills or Ravens and the Lions.
The only reason, because now the AFC West, it's going to be a formidable division with the Broncos and San Diego. Those teams have been on the rise. And I don't know if the Chiefs are going to have enough firepower to get that division. Going to be close, I think. And I think it's just going to come down to divisional records. Who's going to get a wild card and who's going to get the division spot. So I'll go even on a bold thing saying the Chiefs don't make the playoffs.
I think they could still make the playoffs. Because I don't see them dropping off that drastically right away.
I'm not saying like they're going to have a shitty record. I'm saying that the AFC is going to be so competitive.
Yeah. Well,
that they're going to be the one that they're going to be the odd man out, essentially, with a winning record, like of 10-7 or some of that nature.
I could see them going out in the first round.
That's what the Bills need to happen. Somehow the Bills and the Bills have the Chiefs kryptonite in the regular season. The Chiefs have the Bills kryptonite in the playoffs. So the only way, not the only way. I mean, the Bills can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. They haven't done so. But the easiest path for the Bills to get to the Super Bowl is if they don't got to play the Chiefs. So, to your point, the Chiefs got to get knocked out in the first round. They got to be a wild card team, and there's got to be an upset.
And Eagles, I hate saying a fluke because they earned it. They earned their victory.
They did.
But they kind of came out of, like a lot of the teams last year, like the Lions and the Bills, the ball started rolling and they gained momentum. Kind of coming out of nowhere. Like nobody was expecting Philadelphia.
That team, Philadelphia started getting talked about like this might be a serious contender, probably like week 10 or week 11. You know what I mean? But when they figured everything out, it was game over for the teams they faced. Now if they're able to they lost some key pieces in the offseason. I'm not saying they're going to repeat. I don't think they will. I still think they're going to probably take division because they are the better team in the division right now. They are. I mean, it's hard to argue saying they're not the best team when they just had a Super Bowl. So They are the best team in the division. The next one, I don't want to speak too highly and get too hopeful with the Giants. Like to your point, you said it's like 7-9 would be successful. I'm going to go on a limb and say the Giants actually finish with a winning record of 9-7, and the NFC is kind of weak. the Giants have a formidable shot maybe of getting a wild card. Now, will they do anything with it? Probably not. I won't get the, if the Giants have a winning season, success. If they have a winning season and get a wild card berth, success. But do I see it going beyond that? I mean, I'll have,
If they,
that team will have to click. Like, I've never seen a team turn around from losing to, like boom and bust, from bust to boom. Like, I can't recall a team to turn it around from 2-14 to go like 14-2, Like, I'll recollect and come back with you next week with an answer if I can find something. Because I just find that extremely rare to happen. I mean, has it probably happened? Sure. But you're talking,
once or maybe twice.
yeah, if that,
Yeah, that's why I say, like you said, they were 2-14 last year. They were struggling to beat the Jaguars. You know what I mean? That's why I said, like, I'm being very conservative with the win loss record. That if they hit 500, that's a victory
that
compared to what
is.
they were the last 2 or 3 seasons.
That just shows them going in the right direction, which is what they need to do. They're in a team of rebuild. If
Now,
they somehow
if
found the right pieces, awesome.
if they do go to the playoffs, even if it's just a wild card, and they get knocked out almost immediately, until the 26-27 season to see how they continue it, I would still be very hesitant to call it. They exceeded expectations. They would exceed expectations, but I'd be very hesitant to say, "Oh, we're back, boys. We're back." Like the Cowboys say every year, "We them boys," right? I'd be very hesitant to be like, "Okay, this is something legit," because they could go get the wild card and then next season go 7-9. You know what I mean? So,
Well, the playoff footballs, they say, I mean, it's the same game, but it's a different type of football. Records get erased. You're all teams are essentially equal at that point, right? Record wise, you made it this far. You are a playoff team, and that's what you get. You get labeled a playoff team. And that point, that if you get labeled a playoff team, I think that sets an expectation too. Like, okay, you're here now. Now, going back to a few years ago when the Giants made it with, in 2022, that team exceeded expectations all around. Like, that team had no business doing, it was exciting to see. I would be the first one to admit I was excited to see the Giants, Daniel Jones being successful. I'm like, okay, we finally got something going. They won a playoff game, so I'm like, holy shit, like it's, it's wow, you then get humbled by the Eagles and go on from there.
and especially with Russell Wilson only being there for 1 season, Jameis being there for 2, it would definitely be a good learning experience for the rookies to be able to make it to the playoffs. But you got to keep in mind, like, Russell Wilson is good enough to get us there. But once he's gone, we have to they have to continue.
Right. And that's where I think my thought is they have Russell Wilson there as a starter. He's the bridge quarterback. Next year, Jackson Dart will be starting, and Jameis Winston will be his, the backup, the veteran presence. But if you didn't notice, like Jameis didn't play too bad in the preseason. He threw a couple questionable picks. I'm not gonna lie, I witnessed one of them. But he brings an energy to that team, to any team he's on.
He's not a bad quarterback.
No, he's a punt with an upside. Like you put him in, like if okay, it's 4th and 10, we got to go for it. Jameis, where you at? Because he's either throwing a 70-yard touchdown or he's throwing a pick. So it's a punt with an upside.
Yeah, it's like You know, I wouldn't expect him to take us to the Super Bowl, but in the right situations, we're like, all right, kid, this is what you do here. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, the next 2 years, at least for the Giants, would be interesting to watch as long as they're trending forward and moving in the right direction. They have to
Now
move in the right direction.
their starting offensive line, they started their offensive like minus Andrews, right? And only gave up 2 sacks. 2 or 3 sacks in the preseason. So I think there's hope.
Well, have
There's
hope.
always hope.
The ongoing pursuit of hope. Rebellions are built on hope.
Oh, hey, the Vikings, you know what they did?
What do they do?
They brought in male cheerleaders.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's not forget that Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush were both cheerleaders as well.
I did not know that fact. That's not
And that's it. I'm gonna go. This is gonna be my hot take. This is gonna be
I'll
my
pick.
very much of a hot take. Any guy that is complaining about male cheerleaders are just pissed off that those male cheerleaders are around more pussy than they are.
I didn't think of it that way. Because I mean, they made headlines, and it's like, I'm just bringing it up for a topic. I could care less if there's male cheerleaders on the.
I'm just saying in general, and
No.
by all
Your
means,
hot
if
take
guys
is
see that
total.
and they get pissed off, let them. Because
It caught me. I guess it caught me off guard. All right, and because it is 2025, and one team had to do it. But all I could think of, is the scene from freaking Longest Yard.
hey, boy.
Hey, Paul.
Should have never ate that popcorn.
Give me a D, give me an I, give me a C. All right. It's like, oh man. So Vikings, if anyone please do something like that, because I think that would just be kind of epic.
Just
And
standing
funny.
in the stadium like, hey, girl.
But you don't got to put the finger all the way in the belly button. Just rub it around.
Like in Waterboy.
Oh God, Farmer Fran.
But the only thing that I'm disappointed by is it's Minnesota. They got this young, good-looking cheerleader guy, right? Poster boy for what is a good-looking young man. It's Minnesota. Get the biggest, burliest, lumberjack-looking motherfucker, right? Like beat him. The guy that's spent most of his life eating nothing but sausage, cheese, and beer.
Yeah, get him like he's definitely a base.
Yeah, like this is the bear that the women are talking about.
6'2", 350.
He comes out there. That he's throwing the friggin' women 12 feet in the air because he comes out. He's throwing friggin' logs up in the air. Like, give us one of those real Minnesota Viking dudes. Make it entertaining.
Yeah. No, they had to pick a guy like he plucked him out of San Francisco.
But hey, if Minnesota came to me tomorrow and said, "Hey,
you want to be a cheerleader?"
I'll be like, "Fuck yeah, I do." Because you know what? How much you paying me? $1 million? I'm fucking there. Tell me I get to be at every
Just
football
so
game.
you know, I can't really jump, can't really kick high, but I can throw women in the air.
Bingo.
You're hired. Right.
But
Oh, my Lanta.
I'll do it. That.
Well,
I love this
it's
Yankee cup mug, by the way. I
nice.
found it at a thrift store, friggin' antique shop. $4. I was like, fucking, I'll take it. Like brand new.
Well, Yankees fan in California.
Gotta represent.
Yeah, it's got to be tough. You're Jersey bred and born.
Well, Brooklyn, Jersey.
Yeah.
Like Steve Rogers says, just a kid from Brooklyn.
Just a kid from Brooklyn. No, he's not no Taz, folks. He didn't grow up in the Red Hook section of Brooklyn. It was the Upper East Side.
Fuck that. Bay Raid is by way of San Money.
Okay, that's cool.
That's what I gotta say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. Man, fuck Jenny.
He was a fucking villain.
That bitch finally came back after Forrest had all that money and said, "Okay, you can have." And then Forrest goes, "Okay, Jenny, I'll have your AIDS baby now."
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, it couldn't have been that good, Forrest. It really couldn't have been. Really? She got ridden harder than the town bike.
She, if you want to like look back and think about her life journey leading up to that point, she did not exactly have the best childhood.
No.
And it's like, okay, during that time, in that regard, we are better off now because we acknowledge it and we could fix it. About with mental health, and which, for the record, guys and girls, make sure you take care of your mental health. It is important. Mental health taken care of better now. Acknowledging it, recognizing children are in shitty fucking situations like that. All it would have took is one adult to get Jenny out of that situation, and Forrest would not be having her AIDS baby. Surprise!
I like the twist. I was not expecting that.
She wouldn't have ran off and then become a hippie and been doing drugs. Her and Forrest might have had a family way, way earlier than that. But who knows?
We may never know.
Children raising children, man.
Well, I gotta head in.
All righty, bud. Hey, we're gonna end it on this kind of situation.
My buddy, one of my guys, don't do it. Don't do it.
Do it. What?
You have a good one, Reg.
You too there, Cotton.
All right. Deuces.
Peace out.
Peace out.